Right? A lot more people.
Here, let's have the kids sit right here.
Right in here. Thank you.
Money, come over here and sit next to sister.
Yeah.
Come sit next to sister right here.
Well, you know, the big, this is my friend.
There we go. Oh.
They're getting it. They're getting it.
What a beautiful poster.
Welcome everyone. Thank you for being here. My name is Lopez. I live right here. You can't miss the stop evictions sign that's been in our window for many, many months now. We're here today because for many, many months since September, we've literally gone through hell and back with the notice of intent to file an Ellis Act eviction. So when we got that in September, this notice that we were going to be evicted and we had 120 days to leave our homes, I could say that my heart dropped, and immediately all of our neighbors, we got together and we said, we want to fight this. We don't want to leave our homes. The first thing we did was get together and say, what should we do? Should we cash these checks that they just sent us? Should we just give in? And we said, no. We want to stay in our homes. Many of us have been here for 15, 25, 45, 65 years. There's people who have lived here all their life. Some of us were born here. And so the first thing we said was, we don't want to leave our homes. These are our homes. It's not just a place that we rent. It's not just a place that we come in and out of. This is our home, and this is our community. And that's why we're really, really happy today to be able to say that last month we received not a notice of intent to withdraw the building from the rental market, not an Ellis Act eviction notice. We got a notice of rescission of the Ellis Act. So we're claiming victory. It was a very long struggle. I'm just going to explain a little bit the struggle and then pass the mic off to some of my neighbors, friends. I could definitely say from this experience that everyone in our 10-unit building, we've become a lot closer. You know, we've lived side by side with each other for many, many years, and it really took this experience to bring us closer together as not just neighbors, but as friends and supporters in the community. So, as some of you got the press release, you read that, you know, we got this notice in September, and we had no idea that the building was for sale. The building was bought by Ash Gurjal, who is a real estate speculator, and some of his associates. They bought the building, and we had no idea that the building was even for sale, because it was not. It was not for sale. What these real estate speculators do is they go around our neighborhood and find buildings that they can invest in and see if they can get people out of, especially rent control units. And the only way they can get us out is by using the Ellis Act. So they filed the Ellis Act notice in September, and immediately we started, you know, talking to each other and talking to community organizations about what we could do. And luckily we found the Tenderloin Housing Clinic, and we found a great lawyer, Steve Collier, who basically helped provide legal support and let us know about our rights. So the first thing that we have to do is know about our rights, and we do have rights. You know, I think a lot of people in the community get this notice and, you know, feel like they have no option. But we do have options. People say, oh, you can't fight the Ellis Act. You can fight the Ellis Act. And, you know, some people over the last couple months have said, well, did you legally win this case? And, you know, whether it was by legal grounds or by organizing, the fact of the matter is we get to stay in our homes, and we're not facing an Ellis Act anymore. And really it does come down to, yes, knowing your rights. We did file extensions. Some of us who have elderly elderly members of their families, anyone who has disabilities, you can file an extension. And there are a number of people in our building who did get extensions. And so we were able to get up to a year, to stay in the building for up to a year. We started around Christmas time. We said, you know, we don't want just another 3 months or another year. We want to stay in our homes. So what can we do to try to stay in our homes? And so, you know, we met with lots of community organizations. We went to community protests. We hooked up with ACE. We hooked up with lots of different organizations and said, you know, we can protest all we want against this real estate speculator, but we actually want to try to talk to him. We want him to meet us. We want him to know who we are. We're families. We're elderly. We're students. We're youth. We're mothers. We're fathers. We're activists. We're artists. So we wanted him to know who we were. And we wrote him a letter, and we went to his restaurant around Christmas times, and we said, all we want is to stay in our homes. All we want for Christmas is to stay in our homes. And he wrote to us about a month later saying that, you know, that he had gotten our letter and that he was open to negotiating with us, because we said we want to stay in our homes and we're interested in buying our building. If you would, you know, let us offer you a price, we will do that. So we started meeting up with the San Francisco Community Land Trust, which is another nonprofit organization that works with tenants, work with residents who are low income to try to purchase the building in coordination with the city and different organizations. So we hooked up with them, and they were very supportive in giving us options and how we could buy back the building. And we made an offer to Oscar Jaw. We made an offer, and he didn't take our offer, but we were negotiating, and he said, we thought that he was acting in good faith. But unfortunately, a couple weeks later, we got a notice that the building was sold again, and that we were going to have a new owner, and basically that he had sold the building to someone else. So we were happy in one sense because we didn't have to deal with Oscar Jaw anymore, but in another sense, we were really disappointed because we had dreamed of owning the building. We had dreamed of forming a co-op. And that's what we really wanted to do. We wanted housing security. We wanted to become building owners. We wanted to become more self-sufficient and form a community here in our building. So we were disappointed, but we're really happy that we're able to stay. And the new owner has basically told us that he has no intent to file the Ellis Act. He's going to withdraw it. And he also has told us that he has every intent on making improvements internally, externally of the building, and that he wants to work with us. And that the one thing that we asked him was, if he does decide to sell the building, if he could please let us know first and give us the first option to purchase. And he said he's not planning on selling it anytime soon, but if he did, he would let us know first. So the last thing I'll just say is that, you know, we do have to beware of people like Oscar Jaw. This is a person who really put us through hell and had no respect for us. He did not act in good faith. He told us that he was open to negotiating with us, and then he went out and sold the building. And this is a person who bought the building, sold the building again, and made a lot of money off this building. He made a lot of money, and he's going to go do it to someone else. He sold the building in a 1031 exchange, which basically means he got off a lot of taxes, and he has to buy another building. I don't know what it is, but within a certain amount of time. So he's going to try to do this to someone else. And so my message is, beware of Oscar Jaw. If you get a message from him, beware. Come talk to us. We can share information and how we dealt with him. And we just want to say thank you all for your support. And continue to support everyone else in the community who is facing the same struggle. Thank you.
Testing. Like this?
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
All right. Hello, my name is Daniel Cosillo. I've been living in this building all my life. me and my mom. When I first heard about the Ellis Act eviction, I showed it to my mom. I had to translate it to her to let her know what was going on. She was spooked, and many of my neighbors felt the same sentiment because no one wanted to leave their homes. Everyone wanted to stay inside their in here. I didn't want to see any of my friends from this building go. So I searched out for a solution. I found Julian. He wants me to become an organizer, but he's easily one of the most finest gentlemen I've ever met in my life. I can now proudly say that he is one of my friends.
Yay!
And I guess the reason I decided to search out is because I've noticed a trend in San Francisco, or pretty much any place where there's a high market value, to kick out people of their homes and just start a new building, and then just pick up sticks when profits, seem kind of low or unsuccessful. That's what's happening a lot over here. Buildings like this usually try to get flipped for money and get people from out of town to come. I call these people out of towners. Nothing offensive. It's just people who want to get a piece of San Francisco culture, want to be part of the community, because there's a dream here of equality. You could be who you want to be, but then they come here and then just go somewhere like a big conglomerate and just spend a lot of money instead of getting out of the comfort zone and trying to explore the city, trying to be part of the city. And I realize it's not really their fault. It's the fault of some of these businessmen who take advantage of these naive people who come down here, build a business, take their money, and go. And when they go, a piece of San Francisco goes. A piece of the culture that is here, that is the people, dies. Because if we did get kicked out, if we didn't fight it, or if we lost, we would move to Oakland, and we'd be happy there. We'd make a home until they come after us in Oakland.
Yep.
Then we have to go to Antioch, and then we could be in Antioch until they kick us out of Antioch.
Yep.
And then we have to go to Sacramento, and so on and so forth. And the whole balance of equality is kind of thrown out the window, because let's just say, for example, we die out, us low-income people die out, then I guess some will think that's a good thing. But if there's no equality, there'll always be someone else who is low-income. There's no such thing as a higher standard of living is out of low income. It just means that it just gets broken up, unevenly, and it'll just keep happening over and over again to these people who are seen weak, because a lot of people here didn't feel like they had power. A lot of people here felt like they just have to go, until we decided to organize and let them know that yes, together as an organization, as a family, we can fight it.
Yay! 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 Yay!
More I have to say, but I forgot. But thank you for coming out, for supporting us. I appreciate it very much, and I hope one day I can call you two of my friends.
Yeah! 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 Hey, well said, man. Well said. Woo.
Hi, I'm Ronaldo Maya. I lived here for over 20 years, and I am very happy that we all get to stay in our homes, me and my neighbors. So thank you all for coming and showing support.
Sure. My name is Miguel Colon. My family has been living here for almost 47 years.
Wow.
So it's very nice to see that we were able to stay in our houses. Like I said, for me it was a little bit more personal, because my mom has a very nostalgic thing here, because our grandmother, who first moved in here in 1967, before I was born, they lived here, and it was a totally different neighborhood. When my grandmother passed away in 2007, my mom was very emotional about where she lived and everything like that. And then my mom is now handicapped, so I basically take care of her now. So it was going to be very hard to find residence for all of us. I was going to have to look something for my mom, and then for me and my wife, and my two girls that are 7 and 1. So it was going to be very hard to find adequate rent of what we can get, what we pay now, to compare what we would have to pay if we had to go and look on the market now. So again, we are very, very happy that we got to stay in our houses. It is a beautiful neighborhood. I contest to that. I've, like I said, been living here my whole life. So the neighborhood has changed. It's probably one of the best places to live in the city. The weather's beautiful. Parking's an issue, but what's not an issue with parking in the city. But yeah, I mean, I love this place. I love our neighbors. It's a fun place to live. I love raising my children here. Hi, Mama. One of my girls right there. I love the schooling around here. My daughters go to Alvarado here in the city. So yeah, again, thank you for everyone who helped out on this. Ace helped out a lot. So hopefully we could stay even more, and then hopefully in time we were also even talking about maybe seeing if we could buy the building from who the owner was. So hopefully we could probably even do that in the future, and it'll be our apartment building. All right, thanks guys.
Good afternoon, my name is Bruce Wolf. I'm Vice President of the Board of Directors at the San Francisco Community Land Trust, and here representing all the membership and the staff from the Land Trust. We are extremely happy to help anyone who is having difficulties in maintaining their homes. And we're very happy to have worked with the folks here at what's better known as the Merry-Go-Round House, and we're very happy to provide them with whatever services, whatever tools and support that we can provide, and even to the point of doing our mission in purchasing properties, holding them in perpetuity for affordable housing, permanent and lifelong, and to help people be self-sustaining and to manage their own homes through cooperative living. So I just want to congratulate you all and in your current stay, and hopefully in the future we may be able to help you buy the building and further help you sustain your homes here forever. Thank you.
My name is Lopez once again. For those of you who are just arriving, the reason we're here today is because we recently just received a rescission of the Ellis Act. So we're very happy that we don't have to leave our homes. It's been our big worry for the last 8 months. But we're not alone. This is a struggle that is facing so many families, so many people here in the community, in the whole city, and even in the state. And we really believe that it wasn't just the support from Tenderloin Housing, and it wasn't just the support from ACE and the Community Land Trust. It was the movement in the city. It was the movement here in the Mission. It was everything combined, everything that we're all doing to try to make change in our city. It all helped, and it's all going to help other people who are facing the same thing. So we're here celebrating, and we invite you all to come in our backyard and celebrate with us. And we're also celebrating our victory. We're also celebrating a statewide victory. For those of you who don't know, there was a statewide victory of Ellis Act reform that was just passed on Thursday. And so, things are changing here in our community and at the statewide level. And hopefully we'll get to the day when people will be turned away. They'll say, you know what, I have to wait 5 years before I have to, I can Ellis Act a building. Oh shoot, I'm not gonna just have to pay $2,900. Maybe I'm gonna have to pay $5,000 to get each individual person out of their homes. That is gonna keep people from taking us out of our homes. But I pray for the day that we can say there's no more Ellis Act in California. So let's continue to work together here in the Mission, en la Misión, en la Comunidad. Let's continue to work here. Let's continue to work at the statewide level so that no one, no families, no working families, no activists, no artists, no elderly, that we don't have to leave our homes. Because this is our home, this is our community. And don't forget, beware of Ashker Jaw.
Yay! Hey! Well said. Yay! Let's eat.
Come and join us in a celebration in the backyard. Does anybody have any questions?
Well, hey, excuse me. I don't have a question. I just like to thank you and your family for being strong and giving us hope and bringing us this a way that we can stay in the community. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right.
Can we borrow you for a minute? Sure. Just to get a couple of better sound quality sound bites.
Oh, shoot, I meant to show you guys.
September, this sort of began, right?
Yeah, so in early September we received a notice of basically that an Ellis Act eviction was pending and that we had 120 days to move, to leave our homes. And so this was something that, we never expected. We have rent control, so we never expected that we would have to leave our homes. So immediately we started looking at what are our options. Do we really have to leave in 3 months? Is there any way we can stay for longer? So we looked at community organizations. We got legal advice from the Tenderloin Housing Clinic, and some of us were able to file extensions. The owner eventually extended for a year for many people. But the owner, the new owner, bought this building, and this new owner bought this building last year. We had no idea that the building was for sale, and the intent of buying this building was to kick everybody out and turn this building into, tenancy in common or some kind of condo that people would pay a lot more money for it. So we got together, we organized, we came together as a community, and we began negotiating with the owner to try to buy the building. And unfortunately, he didn't sell the building to us, he sold it to someone else. But the new owner has graciously said he will withdraw the Ellis Act, has no intent to sell the building, at least now, and that he's going to fix up the building and he's going to work with us to make this a good place to live. So we're really happy with that. We're very happy that the most important thing to us is that we don't have to leave our home.
Hold on a second. So you learned a lot, but you probably still wouldn't have been saved if this guardian angel didn't come out and buy this building. Well, you could have maybe purchased it yourself.
Yeah, our dream was to purchase the building and form a co-op, and so that we could co-own the building with the San Francisco Community Land Trust, which receives government funding to support low-income families to be able to buy and purchase housing. So it was a dream option for us, and we were so excited about that possibility. But the most important thing for us is that we get to stay here, we get to stay in the community, we get to raise our kids here, our kids can go to school here, we can continue to work here, and that's basically it. We're working families with children, and we want to live here. We wanted to stay in our home, so we're very, very happy that we get to stay here.
Right, so you're lucky. Other people aren't so lucky, but I think what the message here is learn your rights, learn what you can do, because there are options. People shouldn't just take this lying down.
Exactly. The amazing thing is when we got this notice in September, it comes with a check. So it's very tempting to be like, okay, we're going to have to leave and cash a $3,000 check. But for anybody who lives in San Francisco, you know that $3,000 is going to even get you a down deposit on a new place to live. So it's $3,000 per adult on the lease. And then once we filed and said, well, our children aren't on the lease, and they added one more onto the relocation payments. So, but even if you add that all up, you're talking about a little bit more than $10,000 for a family of 4 to find a new place to live in San Francisco. Very hard to be able to find a place to live, that's in a good location, to be able to find a good place to live, a safe place to live for that amount of money. So it's really no amount of money would have made it okay for us to leave our homes. We did not want to leave. And I think that is the message for people in the community is don't just take the check and think it's over. Put put that check away. We gave ours to 1001 Housing Clinic. They saved that for us. To put that check away, and we're not going to cash it. We're going to fight for our rights. And now, things are changing in the state, and relocation payments are being increased, and number of years are being increased for new owners. So change is happening both in the community and at the statewide level.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about that Mark Leno's piece of legislation.
Yeah,
kind of on the cusp of something maybe bigger here.
Definitely. I mean, I think that, obviously we're at the height of it here in San Francisco, but other cities, LA, San Diego, they're also facing these housing crises. So I'm really proud to say that, one of our former supervisors is leading the charge at statewide level, working with organizations such as Tenants Together. They're really helping to organize this on a statewide level. And here in the community, our supervisor, David Campos, Avalos, there are supervisors here at the local level who are also working for housing justice and for housing rights for our community, because it is, people want to come to the Mission District, people want to come to San Francisco because it's a place of diversity, a place of culture, a place of equality. And so that's what we want to keep it as. We don't want to keep it as, we don't want to make it just for, people who are making, $200,000 a year. And that's, when I've been reading, one of the things that I've learned a lot about in these last couple months is the mean income in San Francisco is now between $130,000 and $150,000. I mean, that isn't exactly, working class, or, I don't make that kind of money. And definitely people who live in this building don't make that kind of money. And definitely all the people who live in this community don't make that kind of money. So there has to be a balance between working families and and people who make a lot of money. And we're not saying, people who make a lot of money shouldn't be living here. It needs to be balanced.
Right, it's not sustainable
at all. It needs to be balanced. How would it be? Really, think of San Francisco and how it would be if all the working families worked in the hotels, worked in the restaurants, worked in all the service employees, worked as service employees, but didn't get to live in the city. That's ridiculous.
And what's exciting is the young man that spoke is hosting people here next Saturday. We've identified 10 other buildings in the Mission and Bernal Heights. They're facing Ellis Act this year. Besides being an incredibly good speaker, what you've done, as you know, I'm a leader in ACE, and what you've given us is the ability to say, hey, you can win. And frankly, and Santos is going to say better Spanish than I do. So then you really won for yourself. But you're right. What you've done is given people a sense that they can beat this stuff. And we're going to let everybody know, because there's a lot of people, especially monolingual Chinese and Spanish-speaking people, they don't know their rights. The first thing they spoke to, so they just leave. They come under all kinds of pressure. But with people like you, ACE will help those people directly target those landlords, back them off with the mayor, who I don't always agree with, and Leno's support, maybe change the law on a state level so we have the right locally to get rid of the Ellis Act. But I can't tell you how important what Brian, you all did. We fought for foreclosures until a couple of people got loan modifications and could tell other people in foreclosure. People were ashamed. They thought they didn't have a prayer. So anyway, thanks.
Well, that's what happened. ACE actually introduced us to a woman who had also faced foreclosure and eviction from Ashford Hall.
Oh, yeah!
And she came and met us. She came and met us. She came and met with all of us and said, "Don't give up. Fight this. Do something." And we said, "We are. We're not going to just. We're not going to just pack our bags."
Can I ask you a
question? I do. But the funny thing is, the way she beat him was we went down and took over. We occupied his restaurant. And he agreed to let her have a loan modification. I didn't mean to.
No.
By the way, you did it tremendous. I've heard about you from Julie. You're as good as he says you were. I'm sorry, sir.
Can I ask you a question?
Certainly, sir.
Thank you very much, by the way. Congratulations.
When is this going to air?
Today, probably. I don't know what it is, but mine's going to be on in probably an hour.
I know you're very busy and people coming in your home.
Your last name again? Say it for me.
Leila Salazar Lopez.
Thank you.
Would you please give a message out could you please give a message out in Spanish about, because This media is not going to hear this. But please say it all in Spanish for us.
Hola, soy Leila Salazar López, vivo aquí en la esquina de la 23 y Florida, en la Misión, y estamos alegres, muy alegres hoy día porque podemos quedarnos en nuestra casa, en nuestra vivienda. Aquí son 10 unidades que estábamos estamos luchando por nuestras viviendas porque nos habían mandado una noticia de Ellis Act y ese es donde pueden sacar los arrendatarios de su vivienda. Y nosotros somos familias, somos ancianos, somos jóvenes, somos estudiantes, somos activistas y artistas y no queremos irnos de nuestra casa. Nosotros vivimos aquí por muchos años, 20 años, 25 años, 45 años, 50 años. Y esta es nuestra comunidad, no queremos irnos. Y por eso cuando recibimos la noticia en septiembre, inmediatamente mis vecinos nos juntamos y dijimos, nosotros vamos a pelear esto, vamos a ver cuáles son nuestros derechos. Y vimos nuestros derechos y sí podemos luchar, sí podemos ganar. No es solo negociar con los nuevos dueños, pero presionarlos también. Y esa presión es lo que yo creo que sí nos ayudó. Nosotros les escribimos cartas, fuimos a su restaurante, le escribimos cartas con el abogado. Le dijimos, nosotros no queremos irnos, nosotros queremos quedarnos aquí y queremos comprarle ese edificio. Y desafortunadamente él no nos vendió el edificio, le vendió a otra persona, pero esa nueva persona no nos quiere sacar, quiere que nosotros nos quedamos, va a arreglar el edificio y él dijo que va a sacar el Ellis Act y va a trabajar con nosotros para que vivimos bien aquí en el edificio. Y también dijo, si decide venderlo, nos va a avisar a nosotros primero. Entonces eso nos hace muy alegre porque sabemos que mucha gente está en la misma lucha, ¿no? Y creemos que juntos podemos, no juntos solos los vecinos, pero juntos con la comunidad, juntas con las organizaciones, podemos luchar. Y también con nuestros representantes locales y estatales, ellos también nos pueden apoyar para que nosotros podamos seguir viviendo en la comunidad. Y eso es lo que queremos, seguir viviendo en nuestra comunidad, en nuestras viviendas, donde trabajamos, donde los niños van a la escuela. No de un día a otro vamos a irnos. Y ese es nuestro mensaje, es que sí se puede luchar y sí se puede ganar.
All right, thank you so much. Beautiful, thank you.